But nevertheless, he's Aaron Rodgers. I don't give a damn what anybody says. He's the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen. He's the greatest, most talented quarterback that I've ever seen with my two eyes play the game of football.
I think Aaron Rodgers is the best football player who ever lived in the sense that he has more sway over the outcome of a game than anyone else who ever lived, because Walter Payton and Lawrence Taylor weren't quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is the most clutch. He's the best player on the field, and then when you need him most, he consistently performs miracles. Think of the Arizona playoff game the other year, a couple years ago, where he throws that incredible 60-yard pass to win the game or to tie the game, and then they call it back. And it was a miracle play because he threw it where only the offensive player could make, only the receiver could make the play. Okay, let's see you do it again. He did the same thing again on the next play. He did it again. Sideline routes, back shoulder passes to one sideline and then to the other. Deep passes to two different receivers. Game on the line. He's amazing.
I don't really know how many more times I can keep saying this is a virtuoso. This is magnifico. Skip. What you're seeing, do you understand what you're witnessing? Do you realize that you are in the presence of greatness? That you're watching historically great Aaron Rodgers? Do you realize this? He made a few throws last night. In the 100-year history, there are only a handful of guys.
Really?
And that's if you got a small hand. That's how, But what separates him from all the other quarterbacks, and like I said, he's the most gifted thrower of the football that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of guys. But the way he can, and the accuracy in which he can throw off balance, Skip, do you realize, did you see the throw that he made in the corner of the end zone? Did you witness that?
When I say Aaron Rodgers, what comes to mind?
Just spectacular. It's been fun to watch. I mean, I think he's done some incredible things as a quarterback. I think everyone looks at him and tries to emulate things that he does, even though a lot of them are impossible to do. But he's just a spectacular player. You know, I think he's got everything you want in a quarterback. He's got an amazing skill set. And then you watch him, and I think he's just the way, the velocity of the ball, the ability to, run and throw on the move. I mean, he can get the ball into places that no one else can get him into. So that's a unique player. This week you called Aaron Rodgers an inspiration. What did you mean by that? Well, I think that, like I said, when I watch him play, and I study, watching a lot of film. I mean, the style of play and the way that I watch him move and throw, it makes me want to get on the practice field and try new things. And, I've done that over the last few years of just trying to incorporate maybe some different throwing mechanics.
We have Rodgers in current day, in the present time, taking teams that should not be going to the NFC Championship game with a first-year coach going 13-3, and right away out of it, we're saying, unfulfilled expectations. What a letdown for Rodgers. I don't know. I feel like we hold Rodgers to a very different standard than other quarterbacks, both in history and in current day. You never hear anyone say Drew Brees can't win the big one. Rodgers is held to this crazy standard. Maybe it's because of his personality. Maybe it's because of the Packers legend and lore. I just think Rodgers has had an incredible career, and if rings are the stature and the standard, he's in the conversation. He's got one.
That Rodgers, he's the best quarterback ever.
He's the best quarterback ever. Because, if we did, right, so if we were just putting things we want, characteristics we want in a quarterback, physical traits, right, if you was like, hey, long ball, of all time, you'd rank him in the top 5. Accuracy, of all time, you'd rank him in the top 5.
This is a fact, and I don't know if you agree. I hope you do. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the NFL.
History.
Bar none. Dan Marino!
History.
In history. I'm a history. I've followed it my whole life. I can look back at all the old films. This guy throws it better. I'm not talking about being a quarterback. I'm about throwing the ball. Nobody has ever thrown the football like Aaron Rodgers.
Here's what I think. Now back to the originally scheduled program, talking about the all-time greatness of the Gators thrower, the most gifted, the most talented thrower that we've seen. But there's a guy in Kansas City coming, Jenny.
I know.
I don't know if anybody saw it, but he's coming.
I saw
Skip
it.
Bayless. Aaron Rodgers did what I knew he could do. When he was going to be called upon to make throws that he needed to make in order to keep his team going in the playoffs, he made all the throws. Skip, the thing that separates him and Patrick Mahomes, most guys can throw from different platforms if they're stationary. If you give them a clean pocket, they can drop arm angles and throw. But I've never seen two guys that can throw off the wrong foot better than these two guys can throw on the move better than these two guys can. Skip, Aaron Rodgers was great.
I think Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I think Aaron Rodgers.
But how can you be the best quarterback when you don't have the best resume?
Yes, I know.
You got one Super Bowl.
Right, I get that, but the last time...
What makes him better than Brady?
Well, I mean...
Is it talent? Is what
definitely talent. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback to ever play the sport, for my money. And I say that really confidently, not only because I've been around so many of these quarterbacks. When I really break it down, I would just say this. He has the greatest arm in the history of the sport. He's got him and Dan Marino probably have the quickest release in the history of the sport. He's incredibly athletic, right? I mean, it's not Steve Young, but it's close to that, and especially his ability to sit in the pocket and jump around. And then we're talking about a guy who plays a game like, backyard football, but never throws interceptions. He's a gunslinger that's like the greatest protector of the ball we've ever seen. So that's where I look at it. It's not a knock on Tom Brady or anybody else.
He's had that, but he's not better than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is absolutely a better quarterback. You want to give somebody a ball or give him a drink, I'm giving the ball to Aaron Rodgers and the drink to Tom Brady. And do not buy this time versus time propaganda nonsense. Like, avocado ice cream doesn't make you a good football player. Aaron Rodgers is a better player. I think we all understand and know that. Even Tom Brady, I think earlier this season, he said if Aaron Rodgers was in his offense, he would have 7,000 yards. So even Tom Brady knows that Aaron Rodgers is better.
I don't hate Tom Brady. I got respect for Tom Brady. But when I think of the greatest, I think of a man called Aaron Rodgers. Because we have seen Tom Brady's. Peyton Manning has came. Joe Montana has came. All those guys play like Tom Brady. We ain't seen an Aaron Rodgers. That's why everybody that compares a quarterback, they compare him to Aaron Rodgers. They don't compare him to Tom Brady. They compare him to Aaron Rodgers because it's something that we've never seen. He's changing the game by the way he throws in the pocket, by the way he throws outside the pocket. And then I look at some of these stats. He's the fastest quarterback to 300 touchdowns, best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history, best completion percentage in NFL history, killing Tom Brady in the rushing yards, killing Tom Brady in the rushing touchdowns, best quarterback rating in NFL history around him. Aaron Rodgers didn't have none of that. Aaron is taking us to places on his right arm with nothing. And to me, that's the greatest. To me, that's the greatest.
The fact that you come here and say that Aaron Rodgers is the best player of all time.
Yep.
Show Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the National Football League. But
Aaron Rodgers has more of an influence on the outcome of a game and doesn't choke under pressure as Peyton did than anyone who ever lived.
I think as a talent, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen. But I totally
agree with that. I can agree with that. He's a bad man. I've heard you say he's the best player
ever.